podcast for Outpost FF for October 2025. How's everyone doing? Uh, I am your host, Hikaru Shido. Why don't we all introduce ourselves? Aisha
Hi, I'm Aisha Newhouse.
and
Oh,
yeah, introduce yourself.
and I am Hermit.
RJ
I am Baron, otherwise known as Strider Baron.
All right.
and
Hola, chicas. Hola, muchachos. Hello, everybody. I'm Striker Red. My boys also Kobe Lois, and I'm possibly one of the worst members of Outpost, and also the most hardworking for some reason. But never mind that.
you can't come on. You can't be the worst and the most hardworking. That's impossible. All right.
I know.
Yeah.
I just burying a little bit, but yeah, I have been working pretty hard on those screenshots as of late. Jesus.
All right.
Delete every time my computer. Go ahead.
For this time, we have watched Gundam Thunderbolt. Gundam Thunderbolt. It's about what you would expect from a Gundam series. It's about Xeon versus the Federation, and it's about how destructive the war is, and it pits some people who have like lost limbs and are using their lost limbs to like connect directly to the systems of the Gundam, or not the Gundam, the mechs that they use. They're Zaku's, because the lost limbs people are Xeon guys.
Yeah.
It pits them against the Federation, and the main character of the Federation is a guy who likes jazz a lot. Music is a really big part of it. So I guess
Yeah, you're talking about Yo Fleming. That's the pilot, Yo Fleming.
Yes, I am. Thank you. So while we give our reviews right up front, we're doing that now. We're just giving our reviews right up front. So Aisha, why don't you start?
Okay, I would say it's very short, so there's not much to say. I didn't enjoy the continuation of like the jazz like theme. They also had broke it up with like rhythm with chanting, cult like chanting. I guess because now we're introduced to like a cult faction now. Um, the animation still looks pretty good. The death scenes still look very harrowing and rough for some people not used to death in Gundam, so that's still a plus. The characters are still static. There's not much depth to them until the new girl. Kind of like the one scene where she showed off the different parts of the Federation she worked for and the group she was part of, as like to remember her comrades. Um, Overall, I still think the story hasn't started yet. If that makes any sense, because we're like 4 episodes, or 4 episodes and eight episodes in total. I mean, so it feels like the story has not really started yet. We're now just like finally fleshing out this new faction that's gonna, I guess, fight both Federation and Xeon. So yeah, it was a decent new season.
Right. Out of 10, what's your rating?
Oh, I think I would rate it like only a 6 for me.
All right, 6 out of 10. Um,
Yeah, it's It's still what I enjoy, but it doesn't really move the story that far, and the characters, like I said, are like kind of static and playing. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Hermit.
Yeah, this is maybe my favorite Gundam story as far as it goes with the themes of war and how it can destroy people and their minds and change who they are. I will say it does not. There is a bit of character stuff that is lacking that doesn't really get fleshed out until much later into the manga, which they haven't animated all of yet. As I think they're just waiting until the manga is finished. It's getting towards what feels like the conclusion at this point. So yeah, I believe they're just waiting until it's concluded before they do likely another 2 seasons to finish it. But as far as the story, I personally feel like season one kind of works as its own standalone story, where you can kind of have just this short side story towards the end of this devastating war, where you have people are just throwing away everything in the name of revenge, and you've got these cycles of revenge going over and over and over endlessly. People get killed, and then their friends and family want revenge. They go and hurt other people. Those people's friends and family want revenge for that, and it just goes on, and it's all about what are they willing to sacrifice to achieve that kind of revenge, even if it means throwing away their humanity, parts of their body, or even their friends and family. So season one does a good job of building that, but then season two kind of leads into a whole new story, and it doesn't really get to conclude that because it's left on a cliffhanger for the rest of the manga. But season two still has very good animation and action scenes that are still pretty well worth watching if you're into that. But yeah, as far as character stuff goes, yeah, it's an unfinished work, so you have to watch it with that in mind. Uh, at least at least maybe until next year, when I guess they may finish. I know the manga is going at a slower pace now because the artist injured his hand, and he had to go through a lot of physical therapy and stuff to try and recalibrate from that. And I believe he's now working at a slower pace for his own health. So, and yeah, so I'd rate it probably an 8 out of 10. Possibly higher. It's kind of hard to say.
Right. RJ.
So, uh, I am a massive fan of Mecha, as like you guys might know. I'm the guy I suggested. Cybernetic Guardian, MD Geist, other stuff. So like Hermit is the other person who's also big into mecha and mecha anime and stuff. And I will say I'm glad he introduced me to this because this is darker stuff in Gundam. Like I know Gundam already has dark stuff, but this feels more gritty. This feels more like you've entered the trenches from a viewer's point of view, where you've got two opposing forces, each with equal claim, each with equal they each want what they believe is theirs, and as you guys mentioned, they're willing to sacrifice their own humanity, their loved ones, etc. Or even if they're not, they're willing to sacrifice other people. Sometimes against their own will. The scientist chick, she didn't want to amputate the remaining arm of Daryl, but she's like, oh crap, my dad's in prison, and they're gonna hurt my dad if I don't listen. So against her own morals, and Daryl goes along with it because he wants revenge on Yo. But my point is, those are I agree, those are the main themes: revenge, selfishness, and forced selfishness, i.e., hey, let me remind you, it's you or them. Do you want to be with them when we take them out? That kind of thing. There's a whole thing I could go into, which would be like a 2-hour video essay, which I'm not going to go into, about how Xeon is kind of very much delusional. But also, very screwed up. Like they're willing to blackmail their own people, and if you don't do this thing, I'm gonna do this. But the Federation's not any better either. They use child soldiers. Anyways, the short of it is I really really liked how gritty this is. And I really like the mobile suits. I really enjoyed that as well as the space combat. I give it a 9 out of 10, or yeah, 9 out of 10, because the only one thing I didn't like was just the pacing and the fact that it's on a cliffhanger. Because cliffhangers are my pet peeve. I don't like cliffhangers, but I understand the series isn't finished. Like the manga, it's supposed to promote the manga. Manga hasn't finished it, etc. But yeah, 9 out of 10 is the score I give it.
Oh, it's my turn, I guess. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I actually watched the show a bit earlier when you guys announced that we were gonna watch Thunderbolt through a friend of mine. The thing is, there's a couple of things regarding the first season that were, like you said, not only was this dark, but this was pretty fucking brutal at times, especially what happened to the people in front of Carla in one of the episodes. That blood curdling scream. Holy fucking shit. Like that scene is legit one of the most insane parts of Thunderbolt, honestly. Especially considering what happens to Carla. I'm not gonna give you spoilers, but let's just say that
1 minute her friends are there, 1 minute they're not. Sorry, go ahead.
No, not only that, her brain regresses. Like, in the case of Carla, her brain regresses. Like she really didn't want to do the shit, and she wanted to end it all. Then again, the women in this series are pretty fucked up. At least with the exception of Bianca. I'm talking about Claudia, and then you got Carla. But yeah, I'll be honest. The music, I prefer more jazz fusion than free jazz personally. But the soundtrack is pretty fucking maniacal, especially when it comes to battle. Somehow it fits. I mean, it's not supposed to fit, but it does fit at times.
I just want to jump in and say, like it kind of just a little bit gave me that fuzzy feeling I got from watching Cowboy Bebop with jazz music in space. For whatever reason, fast jazz and space fits together like peanut butter and jelly. Oh, and also I want to say, yeah, you're totally right about Carla's regression, because it's like she was about to do the thing we're not going to spoil. She meets these kids and they're like, hey, we're not on Xeon's side, but we are from space just like you. Our home was destroyed. And she's like, wait, you're from that sector? And then they're about to make peace, and all of a sudden, boom, all her friends are gone.
Yeah, the soundtracks really jive with the characters that they're for. The jazz
Let's stay focused and let Stryker finish his review real quick.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Yeah, we could talk about that playing afterwards. Don't worry about it. But yeah, soundtrack. The soundtrack itself is actually, it's marvelous. It's nothing short of marvelous. I don't like RJ. I do not like cliffhanger endings myself. You won't believe how pissed off I was when I found out it was a cliffhanger. But I knew damn well it was made to promote the manga more than anything else. And it was Herman. Yeah, it was Herman who said this, right? The guy's injury. The guy. How should I say this? You wanna score? Okay, my score is gonna be a bit lower because unfortunately it suffers from a few issues. One of them is the fact that, well, it's a little. I know it's on Ona. I know I know you're. Sometimes people ask and crave for more episodes, but you have to read the manga in order to do this. What else? the cliffhanger ending, that took some points from it because I'm not exactly a big fan of cliffhanger endings at all. As a matter of fact, when I was watching John Wick 4, definitely I was pissed off at what happened afterwards. So I wasted like $20 on a movie ticket just for that. The the animation, the combat animation is crazy. The colors, the color palette. Yeah, if I had to judge something for a color palette, this is pretty good for a color palette. And Dragon On, it's a solid 7.5. To be fair, solid 7.5. It's Here's the thing: 7.5 usually is not. Some people will say it's a bad score, but no, but it isn't. It really isn't. Like you got 7.5, you got 8.5, you got 9.5, you got 10 out of 10. This is like I would say B plus tier. Honestly, B plus tier, between B plus tier and A. Although I'm more old school when it comes to Gundam, I do like the brutality when it comes to my Gundam anime. The doo-wop and jazz really added, really changed things up a bit. Oh, and by the way, there's also the Mambo song from episode 3 in the second season, which is yeah. All I got was, man, some of Japan was definitely into Cuban Mambo. But yeah, 7.5. Take it or leave it.
All right. So my thoughts on this is it's a bit complicated. I'm not a big like Gundam guy. I've seen 0079, and I think the original series is a very, very good show. And people who and I think people who are into Gundam who haven't watched it are making a massive mistake. Like I like if you're listening to this and you haven't watched the original 0079 anime, you what are you doing? Go watch it. All right. It's it's an incredibly good show. Um but I also haven't, at least not as an adult, I haven't seen any of the other shows. So I'm so I'm flying blind, uh with the exception that I understand what a new type is, and I understand what a Gundam is and what a Zaku is. Other than that, like I'm basically like flying blind going into this. Um I think the animation is really top notch. It's superb. Um they it's really, really nice to be watching anime and have like the mechs be animated in 2D and not have like 3D CGI that looks horrible. Um so that's really nice. That's a big plus. And if they did use 3D CGI, I didn't notice. Like they must have hit it pretty well. But uh for the most part it seems to use 2D, and it does it quite well. It all looks good. Um, the characters, the characters are really, they're really flat. Having flat characters in and of itself isn't a problem. But you kind of need a reason to have flat characters, and it seems like they're trying to tell a really complicated story that's made for like complicated characters, but all the characters are kind of flat. So it doesn't really work that well. Like I feel like I'm getting more I feel like I'm getting more interesting character development out of something like Inuyasha over this, which sounds insane to say, but if you actually like watch it and then immediately like watch like 20 episodes of Inuyasha, you'll like immediately realize this. Well, as immediately as 20 episodes of Inuyasha is, but um, it feels like it feels like the characters are very underdeveloped for the type of story they're trying to tell. Character development is not like necessarily a thing that just improves your story just because character development happens. It's a storytelling device, but but these devices are used in a particular way for a particular reason, and they needed more of it for this particular type of story. There just isn't enough of it for like the complicated concepts and emotions that they're trying to like convey to the audience. I don't think. Um, as for the soundtrack, the soundtrack's a fucking 10 out of 10. All right. You got jazz, you got some jazz fusion. Um, there's even like a 70s folk rock song. Obviously, it's not a song from the 70s, but they like but there's a song in it that you can easily see James Taylor or Gordon Lightfoot uh uh doing a cover of. Um And then at the end, there's an absolutely amazing, like progressive rock song. I guess they're trying to go for like jazz fusion, but a lot of the parts of it are more progressive rock. But either way, amazing, amazing stuff, amazing soundtrack, really great stuff. So some of the soundtrack it's a little more like more generic pop stuff, but but you know, there's a couple misses and then there's a lot of hits. There just absolutely amazing stuff that you wouldn't expect to be in a show like this. Um as for the story itself, well, a lot of characters act in ways that like I wouldn't like there are people who just have like it's complete and total like mental breakdowns because somebody died on the front line. I wouldn't expect that to be like the kind of person that you'd promote to be an officer. So I'm kind of confused as to why these like mentally weak people are like in positions that they're in. It doesn't really make sense for like a military sci-fi setting. Um, and I know it's Gundam. They're trying to go for like an anti-war uh type of story. Um, so with that, because in like the original in 0079, it made sense for like for everyone to be there because they kind of were just in the right place at the right time to be on white base. Um, and even then they seemed a lot they seemed to be made of tougher stuff than the people in this series. Um, and it made more sense when they did have breakdowns. Um, if 0079 was a 10 out of 10, which it isn't, it's definitely not. But if it was, then this would be an 8 out of 10. But 0079 is not a 10 out of 10, so I'm going to give it like a 7.5. I think it's I think it's like fun to watch, and maybe you'll like it better if you've seen everything else that Gundam's done, and maybe I'm missing something that other Gundam fans know about. Because I've only really seen 0079. So yeah, I I don't know. If you're like a big Gundam fan, then you'll probably want to watch it. As far as me, I think it's okay. That's my thoughts on it. It's okay.
What's your rating?
All
I
right.
said like
Oh,
7.5.
okay.
Okay, so the thing is, my anime list gave it a score of 7.94, and IMDb gave it a 7.5. So basically, it's
7.94,
around the same area.
7.4, and 7.95. What's ours?
I gave it a 7.5. Will give it a 7. 7.5.
Oh, I gave it a set. Wait, hold on. None of us keeping track of this. Hold on.
I can do it. Give me a second. Let me go get one of those calculators.
All right. Aisha, what was your score?
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
6 plus Hermit, what was your score?
It's an 8, but I think I'm actually going to change it to a 9.
Okay, 9
Make
plus
it,
RJ, what was your score?
and,
My score was a 9 as well.
9 plus 7.5 plus Striker, what was your score?
7.5.
7.5.
It's I think it's 7.8.
Divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divided by 5 equals. No, that can't be right.
It's
Is
7.8.
it-
I checked on the average calculator. Let me look at the. Let me put it in. So one of you did 6, 2 of you did 7.5.
Oh,
and then two of us did
I
9.
accidentally pressed 7.55 or 755. I'm an idiot. 6 plus 9 plus 9 plus 7.5 plus 7.5 equals 39 divided by 5 equals, okay, 7.8.
Close enough.
Accidentally typed 755 for Striker's number.
Damn.
That's why my math went so askew.
Matt wasn't mathing, bro. Matt wasn't mathing.
No, it wasn't math.
I just used one of those online average calculators. I just punched them in. I was gonna say, let's talk about. I wanted to hear what Hermit was gonna say because he was gonna talk about the music. So, what was it you and Lewis were gonna talk about like the stuff? I mean, like Will brought up some stuff about the jazz fusion and like the folk rock stuff. What do you guys think?
Well,
the
what
thing
one of
is-
the one of the songs straight up sounded like it could have been James Taylor or Gordon Lightfoot. If you guys know who those guys are.
I sort of know who Jace Taylor is, not so much Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot, like sundown, you better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs. You ever heard that song?
Nope.
Afraid not.
No.
Also, Hermit.
My
One second. I wanted to hear because you guys remember we were waiting for Hermit to say the thing because you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
were doing your scores.
all right.
Yeah, one of my favorite things with the soundtrack and the characters is how they kind of the two main characters, EO and oh god,
Daryl.
and Daryl. Yeah, they both kind of have they have their own soundtracks that they literally play in their cockpits when they're driving, and they go perfectly with their personalities and what they want. Where EO is he's an adrenaline junkie. He loves being in the cockpit. He loves being on the front lines in the war. He's kind of embraced being what he is. And so he's playing jazz that just perfectly is extremely fast paced and frantic and goes with the kind of piloting that he does and the region that he's in, where he's just constantly dodging asteroids and flying like a maniac so that he can fully embrace the adrenaline. And he's got the perfect music for that. And then Daryl has this kind of soothing, cheesy, corny, old pop music that goes with what he really wants, which is just he kind of wants to go back to what things used to be before he was crippled. He kind of wants he wants to kind of return to normal or have some sort of some sense of like
Some sense of
belonging or
normalcy.
family. Yeah, some sense of normalcy, and he's kind of he's hanging on. He's hanging on to the one love that he's found in the war for that potential. So yeah, he's
I
going with comfort music.
Yeah, I did notice that there's a bit of doo-wop music in one of the tracks. There was also a bit a city pop song,
Mhm.
Well,
and
like
I noticed
what's his face? The Federation guy. Um,
Yo,
EO Fleming. EO.
EO. He actually hated one of the songs because it was too sappy, even though it was his dad's favorite song.
hmm
It's more
Uh,
like it's part of the life of the song cannot triggers a trauma, a traumatic experience, considering considering that well, EO basically lost his old man, and
Derek
go on.
lost everyone.
yeah. I get the feeling that there was a lot of character development that was just fast forwarded through.
I agree. I very much agree.
Then there was also
But
yeah.
I do like the scene where he's like drumming on his in the cockpit of his Gundam to the jazz tunes. He
yeah,
he seems to not a lot of people actually have this. Even people who say that they really like music, not a lot of people have this where the his passion for music is so robust that everything he does sort of follows a rhythmic pattern because he's always thinking about music. And I that's something that I connect with very well because I'm kind of like that. Like I like everything like at all moments during the day and during the night, from the moment like I wake up to the moment I fall asleep, and no matter how drunk I get, no matter how angry I get, no matter how sad I get, um, everything everything is sort of to the rhythm of music to me, and that's something that he is very similar to me in a way. And that's something that's very profound about his character is that he everything for him is music. it could be just talking to a friend. It could be being engaged in battle. It could be having sex with his loved one. But everything is music to them. And that's something that's very relatable about his character, at least to me.
So,
The funny thing about the funny thing about Daryl is the fact that, well, like I said, not only did he want a sense of normalcy, but he also wanted to spend the rest of his days with Carla, which there is a bit of a romantic side to this. And in the case of EO and Claudia, they definitely had a bit of a connection. Although I'm not sure the connection between Claudia and EO was more of a personal or more of a professional, considering that she was his superior. Well, before she joined the Legion of the Shaped Heads. But yeah, in the case of man, I'll be real with you. That when I first saw that scene for the first time, I knew the freaking jazz solo that accompanied it was as chaotic as the moment itself. When she loses the when Carla loses the people she knew in front of her. I mean, here's the thing: you're combining Sayako Hara, screaming her guts out. Here's the thing: the show has no dub, by the way. There's no dub in English, unless you cut. You're gonna have to watch the movies if you want the dub. If you want, anyways, uh, combine that. It's a blood curdling scream at that. Then you have this chaotic as hell sad solo that kind of looks like something you would hear where you when you were doing how should I say this? When you were smoking angel dust PCP, and then you have this freaking sword out of nowhere, melting these motherfuckers into nothingness. That scene lives rent free on my mind, dude. That is one of the craziest scenes from the show. And then there's the other part. Not only is this show dark, it was also pretty. Cause yeah, I wouldn't say it's a horror series. It's more like they're pretty much showing you the cruelness of war. They're pretty much showing you how raw. This is raw. Like I see some fucked up shit, but this Gundam series is out there. Not only was this raw, it was also it's like something you didn't expect if you're a first time watcher, you know? Like yeah, I gotta stop saying like so much. Okay.
I think it's something that you probably shouldn't watch unless you've seen like a lot of Gundam. Like the show, it seems like something that's made for like Gundam fans,
Indeed.
which is which is a good thing. But like I'm not like a I'm not like a massive Gundam fan. I've only like seen
mm,
0079. I saw like
I
some of Gundam Wing when I was a child, but I was a child like so like I've seen 0079 and it's really good, but
excuse me.
but I feel like this was made for somebody who's seen like a good majority of the Gundam stuff of like the Gundam series. And
I gotta ask you,
I
have you ever
find like
seen? Go ahead. I was gonna
no
ask you if
no
you've
no
ever
you
seen.
ask your question.
Okay. Have you ever watched G Gundam? I know. It isn't
No,
like the rest of the
no, I
Gundam
haven't.
series. It's
I
more
have I have
like
no idea what G Gundam is. I have no idea what it's about.
uh. Let me sum it up like this. It's more like RJ. Do we tell them? Do we tell them what G Gundam is? Basically, G
I
Gundam is
mean,
like, yeah,
you want to keep it short, because I do want to
yes.
make the announcements, and then yeah, but it's basically
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z. But go ahead. You actually, you know what? You and Hermit explain it, because
That's
you guys.
even boring. That's even more confusing.
basically
What do you mean it's like Dragon Ball Z? What?
No. It's not a Dragon Ball Z. Think more like Tekken or Street Fighter mixed in with Mecha. It's basically these Neo countries like Neo America, Neo Asia, fighting uh fighting the mechs around from the respective countries until one comes out on top. Basically, G Gundam is a massive competition between whose Gundam is the best.
The thing is, like, the
And
Gundams are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like the one from Mexico has a sombrero.
his name's the Killer Gundam.
And they got the Chinese one where it's like, the dude is a martial artist and his Gundam literally does kung fu stuff. And you got the American one, and he's got the pilot has literal cheerleaders with like Star Spangled Banner clothing. It's crazy.
The only problem with the
Base?
mech design there is that the
Yeah.
Japanese mech isn't a samurai.
Dude, not okay.
It's a
Here's the
fucking
thing. They
satire.
didn't go far enough with the American mech. All right. It should have had fireworks, and it should have had like loads of like hamburgers around it. It should have had cowboys. All right.
It needed
It
a
would
I-
Gatling gun.
be able to blow it on
I
top,
I
but they didn't.
I love the Japanese stereotypes of Americans. All right, it always just makes us look so fucking badass.
This is exactly what G Gundam is. It's a fucking parody of Gundam. It's a shitpost of Gundam. Well, you will like this actually. You will actually like this, especially with Jiminy Crockett. The dude is like the dude's a fucking chat, man. Oh, the French
Listen,
man.
all right, does it have an American in a cowboy hat holding a hamburger and going yeehaw? Because I will. Because that is automatically like really badass, and all Americans should do that all of the time. Because
So
holding a hamburger and wearing a cowboy hat and going yeehaw is awesome.
Okay, so they come very hold on. They come very close to it, extremely close to it. You will like the show.
It's close.
All right,
enough.
it's G Gundam. I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, it is G Gundam.
I do need to finish that one because it's got some good stuff to it. It's just my only problem is it was at the peak of a period when Gundam was kind of sliding backwards as far as its target audience. Where they were trying to target younger and younger audiences to bring in more fans, and so they kept aging down the protagonist and dumbing down the story. And there were some good things that came of that, and there were a lot of bad things. This was kind of one of the better things, though.
Okay, but yeah, definitely check it out. In fact, believe it or not, that was actually my first Gundam. Believe it or not, G Gundam was actually my first Gundam series before watching 0079.
No, dude,
We're getting a little off topic, though.
No, I gotta say, like,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, yeah, no, that was the era, you know,
It's
Wing,
unrelated.
it was like Wing, 79, G Gundam,
Got Seed.
yeah. Anywho, but okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. We got like, I guess we technically have 15 minutes, but like, so we have a couple announcements. I'm gonna show the first one on my screen. We're having a tournament over at Mother Base, over at Frosty Fight Club. You can go ahead and join or watch. It's on the official Frosty Twitch channel. It's gonna be 2 Gundam games. My favorite one out of all the old ones, the Endless Duel game for SNES, and then one of the most popular ones for PlayStation or emulated DuckStation, Battle Assault 2. And first place wins a prize. It's gonna be a game for Steam. And that is from 4 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. That's 7 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. So again, 4 to 7:30. I hope to see you guys there. One of the fastest way you can find us is on just like the official website, which I will read out in a second. But as I'm going to check that URL, I just wanted to add one more thing. Frosty Fight Club regularly has events that are like this, tournaments, etc. And every season, I try to host a prize tournament where I personally co-host. So if you guys want to come, participate, it's free, open to the public, and yeah. Anywho, the URL is frostyfightclub.com. No HTTP, no www, just frostyfightclub.com. Again, that's frostyfightclub.com. All right, second announcement. Will, shall I make the announcement, or would you like to?
You want me to make an announcement?
Oh, well,
Yes.
you're leaving. I was just going to say, with much disappointment, one of the OG members, he's moving on to other projects, and much like our dear friend Joshua, Dragon Hiryu, I might have butchered his username, but yeah,
Get studio.
get studio.
Well,
Yeah,
I've been doing this podcast for a long, long time, and I'm things happen over time. You change over time, and this podcast is not interesting me creatively anymore. So I'm going to be leaving. I hope anyone who does like my contributions continues to like this podcast, and I hope anyone who does watch continues to watch. I'll have it like this isn't because of like any drama or anything. All of these guys are good people, and anybody watching now should continue to watch. And should participate in their fighting club tournaments. But I'm going to be moving on, so I hope everyone has a good time. I hope everyone liked this podcast. I hope everyone liked all the podcasts that I did host, and I hope I wish everyone well, and I hope everyone who I've worked with in the past, including all of you who are here now, find success.
Thanks, man. I mean, I still remember as far back as like friggin' Promised Neverland, making a poster for that because I tied that to our Devil May Cry month for some reason. Yeah, it's been a blast having you, and you and Josh, you guys, you restructured this podcast into something very fun. So it's a shame you got to go, but like, because I know you got other projects to focus on, but like, we'd love to have you, again as a guest, or like, just to come chill on game with us sometime. Like, especially because like for example, like Neko and Aisha are like they're doing their own like hangouts where they game together, and maybe like we can do something similar every now and then. But yeah,
Well, you guys can message me at any time.
Sure. We could talk shit on the
course.
and troll on the podcast. So we can
Yeah.
troll
And
around
so
the
you
same-
go, but
so I'm gonna
But
try to.
everyone,
Yep, go ahead.
everyone have a good night. Yeah, everyone have a good night.
Gentlemen,
Take care.
it was a privilege.
So,
yeah, indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna
Anyways.
I'm gonna just close off by saying, I hope everybody watching is having a awesome start of their fall season. I hope your Halloween goes amazingly. I hope your like just not just your October but your November. I hope your Thanksgiving afterwards goes amazing, because we won't be back until either December or January, one of those two.
Yeah, Mike.
Yep. But yeah, so you guys say what you want to say before we go off the air, and I just bid the audience an awesome, amazing holiday season.
I've said what I had to
Honestly,
say.
Something's going on.
Should I plug my channel?
Man, I mean, yeah, go
No,
ahead.
that's-
Just
go nuts, man.
everybody keep it brief because we want to dip.
Yeah, like again, if anyone watching, you can find me at Aisha_Newhalf on YouTube. I'm still working on my own content. I am recently working on something for the holiday. So subscribe, click the bell, and you should see it in your notifications in a few days. That's it.
Hermit, you have anything to say or no?
Everyone stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I guess that's it.
You wanna
In my
close us off
case-
before I say good night to everybody?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll keep this podcast as long as we live, because the last thing you give up is passion. In 8 years, we've been doing this for 8 years, dude. We can't just let this die. Well, you know where to find us, and don't choke on that turkey. I mean, that turkey is pretty mediocre, to be honest, as Thanksgiving food. But yeah, Thanksgiving. Check your candy if it's got razors or poison or roofies or any of that shit. What else? If you're gonna do it, bring yourself a 9mm or something. Stay strapped, gentlemen.
Me roofing the girl was reading this.
Oh, yo,
Alright.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, I mean, dude, listen, last Halloween, I opened up, I don't have any kids, but I'll just say I opened up my kids' candy, and I found a friggin', a Aqua GM in one of them, and then a Zaku 2 in the other. Be careful, man, be careful. People are hiding mobile suits
one
in your kids'
time-
candy.
One time I found an entire box set of 0079 in my kid's Hershey bar.
I found
Got a rock.
I found out one of the kids got decapitated by a fatty. And they
All right,
closed the-
let's
the
end
fatty-
this podcast. All right, good night, everyone.
Well, good night,
Yeah.
everyone. Have a good Halloween. Take care, everybody.
Have an amazing Halloween. See you guys in winter. Hope to see you on the tournament, which is I forgot to mention the date. I'm so sorry. 1 second.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted while I'm
What is
looking.
the date?
Yeah, I'm gonna mention that right now. The date is
Okay.
the date is it is the 20 something. It's the 25th. The 25th of October. The tournament is on the 25th of October. I forgot to put that down.
So basically 2 Saturdays from now.
Uh,
2 weeks. With this one.
Yeah, just about 2 weeks. It's the 10th right now.
Indeed,
10th
indeed.
or 11th. Yeah. So just about 2 weeks.
Yep. And the only thing I'm just gonna add is the hope is that I'll be able to regularly co-host these tournaments that are tied into the podcast. Every once a season. That's how the Outpost tournaments work. Otherwise, Frosty has tournaments every week. Every week you can challenge people of every level. There's people that are like very much casual like myself, and then there's people that are hardcore. But anyways, having said all that, I've said so much already. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna miss you, Hikaru. You've been a mainstay, and like I genuinely am gonna miss you, man, because like you and Josh made things really fun. But yeah, you're gonna pass on the torch to the rest of us. So, but yeah,
You know what? You know what? I have you know what? Now that you guys have gotten a little emotional, I do have something more to say. All right.
Oh boy.
I've been part of this podcast for 8 years, and my plan for tonight was just to leave the podcast and be done with it. And I am leaving the podcast. And but you guys cared about it more than I thought you would. So I feel like I should say something more. What I'll say is, one, any of you guys can DM me at any time. You guys can message me anytime you want to.
Sure.
All right. I'm not dying, right? Another thing is it's starting to get into that time of year where we all get sentimental. We all get kind of festive, all right? And I want everyone listening now and all of you who are on the podcast to remember that the lives of every one of us, lives of you, Stryker, and RJ, and Hermit, and Aisha, and my life as well, are all a blessing. And we're all blessed to be in this world. We're all blessed to be around each other. And we're all blessed to be celebrating Halloween together. And we'll be blessed to celebrate Thanksgiving. And we'll also be blessed to celebrate Christmas. So I might not be around for the Christmas podcast, but just know that I think you're blessed to celebrate Christmas. And I think everyone watching it is a blessing on this world. Good night and God bless.
Hey, good night. That was awesome.